Okay, we're gonna use a double leg to be able to start our exchange on the wall. And we'll have many different finishes for this double, but the first one is just a simple knee slide, okay? So when we're in this like kind of zone close a foot from the wall, I'm gonna shoot my double, but there's nowhere to push through too. So I'm gonna have to cut an angle. So when I get to my double, he spreads his legs, he turns his toes, he's facing towards me. He might be trying to stuff my head. I'm keeping a good amount of pressure towards him so he can't angle out. But with that being said, I can't pick him up. If I move over to a single leg, a lot of times he'll face me or he'll knee escape by limp legging. So I gotta keep him stable before I do a dynamic movement. And here's where my knee slide comes into play. So whatever I'm doing to get into my double leg, he's turning his feet, he's doing the splits a little bit, he's stuffing my head. This is all very difficult for me to finish and pick him up. So what I'm gonna do is an outside step, and I'm gonna slide my knee into that corner. Just like so. So I have an angle, I can finish grounded, shelving his legs. But a lot of this is just to be able to find a new angle where I might be able to pick him up or even dump it. But it just gives us a fresh look where from here it's kind of a stalemate. He can split his legs all the way to the splits even sometimes. And I can't do much from here, right? So we're gonna have to be ahead of that. And that's a good D that a lot of people are doing. They're sticking their feet into this little crevice in the corner of the fence, and they're turning, whizzering, wrist control, or coming deep underhook, and it kind of stalemates that situation. So we're gonna have to be ahead of that. I'm gonna be able to step to the outside and knee slide through. Now from here I could drive and re-angle, right? Say he has really good balance and he stays on his feet for this exchange when I do this little dynamic knee slide. So I'm draped, he does a split, he's splitting his legs, but he keeps his balance on his knee slide. Now I have a good angle to where I could even dump it. I'm just not stuffed onto the wrong side of his body, fighting his strong hip, right? This, I'm not trying to pick it up, right? If I knee slide, boom, I come up, I could dump it. I'm sliding down to this foot. So this double leg finish and this dump finish work really well together to be able to have them both interconnected. Here, if I can't pick it up because he's too strong, I can slide down that foot. So being able to have these two complement each other is really important. So now on the outside, I shoot my double half, right? We're in this position. I'm gonna step, I'm gonna explode and knee slide with my back straight, like this. Not like this with my head down. So it's here, I'm kind of ducking my head right into that armpit is the goal. With my head up and not to scratch your face on the fence or wall. So it's here, that position. Now I have new life. I could run by angling off that double leg, or if he postures head high, I could dump it. Last time. Split those legs. Right, I have my double, I could pick it up, I could drive it, or if he head high sprawls, I could dump it. So just a nice little knee slide option off that double leg, rather than just forcing something that's not there, cutting an angle, redirecting, and possibly finishing off of his reaction with that dump. Give it a try. Okay, we're gonna continue on with kind of leg attacks against the wall. For now, I'm gonna have a single leg. I could start with a double, and a lot of times people's pressure and split legs makes you have to compromise for a single leg. We could start with a single or move to a single from a double. So in this position, I'll start from a double. He's splitting his legs. He might underhook this side, so I want to be able to move to a single. So from this position, I don't want him to escape, so I have to lift this leg with it in between my legs. So I can pull it up and have this little scoop position. Now I'm in control with pressure still, okay? All I'm gonna do is a simple pipe run. So I'm gonna step laterally in front, and I'm gonna hike this leg as though it were a football. And I wanna use my shoulder and have my head on the inside upwards instead of down here where I could be stuffed. So my shoulder on that thigh is a lot of the pressure and why he's gonna fall. When I rotate and I hike that football, that shoulder pressure continues throughout this transition. So I have to jerk that down as I rotate. So there's a couple of layers here where I either, double leg to single leg or just my single leg. Now I gotta get this leg between my legs. So, tighten that up, have it threaded. I like to have my feet a little pigeon-toed where they're narrow at the end rather than going wider. It just helps pinch this leg down. If it's really slippery, if I want to multitask using my arms, I'm gonna separate my legs. I'm gonna rotate and face him, and I'm gonna squat and hike that football down with my shoulder pressure. Transition. So within that transition of them falling, yes, you could high leg, you could find your way to passing, but for now, that's a hard enough movement, getting someone who's strong and has a lot of energy and slippery down to the mat. So that's the focal point. Single leg. I can't do much. I'm gonna get that leg between my legs, step, hike, and then I could worry about how I'm gonna pass. Last time, just the basic part. Maybe I'll go from a double this time. Splits, I can't get it, so I'm gonna sit with my single leg. I'm gonna step, rotate, breathe out, and hike. So that's just a basic pipe run off of a wall. So it's similar, a little different tendencies-wise for your partner or opponent than out in the open. It's a fixed location, so things are gonna be a little heavier sometimes. So give it a try. Good. Okay, from this position, you might start your whole exchange on the wall from a shot, but for now, we're gonna have double unders. So we might work our way up from like a double leg to being able to work as a body lock, or, we just win tie-ups and they gravitate towards the wall, which is basic, So what I wanna do here is I wanna split the uprights. I wanna bring my knee against that wall in between his legs and create a fulcrum, something that he has to make a decision over. And that creates a good first step, because right here, it's just hard to grind someone for a takedown, right? So a little bit of technical nuance is important here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna split the legs. I'm gonna lean that knee onto the wall, and I'm gonna rotate towards you guys with my upper body. That creates something, right? Just an off balance. I might be able to just take him all the way through to his back, just based on the fact that I could separate my upper and lower body from my torso up and my hips down to do two different things. Kind of like an Indian burn, right? Like I'm stepping in one side to keep his hips isolated and located in the same position while I rotate, which then gives me ample opportunity to just keep rotating, right? See how Max has a good whizzer? That keeps him in the game. Some people, like non-wrestlers against the wall, aren't as used to whizzering. They might go to my head, they might try a plum, they might try and frame. That's good, because then that's a back take. So if I do this well, I'm in here and he's not really whizzering, boom, that arm isn't an issue anymore. So understand what your opponent's doing too. If they're just framing and pushing away, back take, right? So if I'm double unders, stepping the hole and rotating, boom. Now spiral ride or being able to shovel downwards just to get that last bit of control is important. Okay, so layer your approach. I get to my double unders, I step in the hole, he's either whizzering or not whizzering. If he's not whizzering, this is a back take. I'm just rotating. Now I have different levels of breakdowns to be able to control, or say he whizzers, which just kind of still rotating. It's hard to throw someone right off the wall with a straight ogoshi, uchimata hirai goshi, all those kind of basic judo techniques because of the wall and their leg. If I just try to throw Max with a basic ogoshi, a hip toss from here, it's gonna be hard. His leg, everything's anchored onto this wall. There's no room to rotate. So we're gonna take that and modify it by just twisting. Now from here, I have other options where I can take him down because I've created an opening and some space and some steps. So knee in the hole, rotate. Give it a try.